Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 2023 Earl Graham Metro vs. Florida Challenge, the event in which the Metro Conference puts its reputation on the line as the best quality of basketball throughout the state of Florida. This 15th of 26 games making up the 2023 Earl Graham Metro vs. Florida Challenge matches the Discovery Spartans against the Colonial Grenadiers. And now, let's meet the starting lineups. Representing the Florida contingency and the guests on the board, we begin with the Discovery Spartans. At point guard, number 1, Darius Livingston. At guard, number 4, Luxon Jean. The shooting guard, number 5, Willie Wilson. And forward, number 10, Dante Hines. And rounding out the Discovery Spartans starting lineup, a point guard, number 12, Malcolm Smith. We now turn our attention to the representative of the Metro Conference and home on the scoreboard. That would be the Colonial Grenadiers. We begin at forward, number 0, Gio Antonio Rivera. At guard, number 1, Silas Williams. A wing, number 2, George Adorno. The shooting forward, number 5, Ray Baker. And rounding out the Colonial Grenadiers starting lineup, a guard, number 23, Randy Estevez. Your coaches for the Discovery Spartans in his 6th season at the helm, Wheatlands Bovell. In his 3rd season for the Colonial Grenadiers, Coach Mac. Each and every game for the 2023 Metro Earl Graham Metro vs. Florida Challenge is being live streamed for those who cannot attend in person, or for those who just like to watch the broadcast. That can be found at the metrovsflorida.com. That's METROVSFL.com. Let's get ready to play some basketball. And we are underway, and thank you for joining us on the internet broadcast. I'm Neil Fisher. A 10-4 lead as this game begins for the Florida contingency. Last game going to the Florida contingency, the Masters Academy, with the victory over Lake Buena Vista. And this, of course, is Colonial in the white jerseys with the black, dark bluish, blackish numbers and the red trim. First points go to Colonial. So a 2-0 lead for Colonial. Discovery Spartans, a private school, in their traditional black jerseys with the white numbers and red trims. Back at the other end. Tipped out. Rebounded by Discovery. They'll go back to work. Inbound. to Colonial. Now bringing that ball up. That's Silas Williams, one-on-one. Stop, no dice on the stop pop. And out of bounds. Out of bounds, possession, Discovery. So if you're new to the Earl Graham Metro versus Florida Challenge, it's rather simple. There's 22 teams in the Metro Conference. All are public high schools, and all are located in Orange County. As a rebound, pulled down by number 5, that's Ray Baker. Each and every game has a member of that Metro Conference taking on a non-member, the Florida Contingency. We add up the totals and see who has the most wins. 26 games, 4 days, 2 locations. This is from Apopka High School, Joe A. Storing Gymnasium. The pass in to 23, back to 4. The extra pass, making the withdrawal, Ray Baker. So great passing, and now a 7-0 lead for Colonial to start this game. Discovery only able to take 3 field goal attempts compared to 2 for Colonial. Discovery with a couple of turnovers. Of course, both these teams are familiar participants. Colonial competing every season as a member of the Metro Conference. Who got that? Score the deuce for Dante Hines. So full court, man-to-man, being employed by Discovery. That's one-on-one. Williams into the corner, rotated out to the right wing. He's one-on-one with Willie Wilson over to the left side. Williams unable to get to Trey, find the range, pulls down their own rebound though. Great offensive rebounding. And double team in the corner. That breaks up. Now over to the right with Williams. The drive. Kissing the glass for the deuce. Williams. 9-2 run to open this game now for Colonial, representing the Metro Conference. Off the heel and hit the wiring. That holds up the backboard on that pole, so that will be the same as an offensive rebound. And possession is in Colonial's favor. Colonial possession. Colonial calls a 30-second timeout. So your score, 4:31 first quarter, Colonial representing the Metro Conference 6, Discovery representing the Florida Contingency 5. This is a 2023 Earl Graham Metro versus Florida Challenge. At this time, we'd like to acknowledge our sponsors who, of course, make this event possible with their participation in partnership. Our primary sponsor is Advent Health. 8 Central Florida hospitals have been named as the best in the Orlando area for 13 years in a row. We care for your mind, body, and spirit while you get back to doing what you love. With those you love, visit besthospitalinorlando.com to get started on your journey to wellness. So we continue this game. Third of 6-7 being played here at Joe A. Storing Gymnasium, Apopka High School. Colonial with the 9-2 lead. They scored the first 7 points. The drive by Williams, the kick to Rivera, and a whistle at the end of all that action. Foul committed by number 10, Dante Hines. That sends Rivera to the line. That is also the first team foul committed by Discovery first quarter. So 9-2 lead. Make that 10-2 now. Beautiful stroke from Rivera. He goes 2 of 2 from the free throw line. And back now we go the other way. Discovery trailing by 9. The kick and the give and go. Kissing the glass, number 11. Number 10, Dante Hines. So the fadeaway finds the range. Great Baker. On the attack now, the beautiful pass to Rivera. Can't get it go, slides off the heel. Windex work and kissing the glass, Estevez. So Colonial hitting the offensive boards hard. That's been your difference right now in building that 15-4 lead. A 9-0 run beginning this game, 7-0 run beginning the game for Colonial. Possession remains with Discovery. Off the inbound pass, that's going to be short off the left side. Skying for the rebound. A third opportunity does not go in. And now at the other end, Colonial with a 11-4 lead, looking to extend it. The scoop shot, no dice. Who got that with the 21? Hey, who scored? On the rebound, the deuce off the backboard by Giantonio Rivera. Who called the timeout? Timeout called. At this time, we'd like to acknowledge our sponsors who, of course, make this event possible with their partnership and participation. Excel Speed Training. Coach Lowwood offers training in all sports for speed, agility, and fitness. With 2 days a week offered at 3 sites, find a program that works for you. Visit excelspeed.com. Apopka Commissioner Kyle Becker is a proud supporter of Blue Darter Athletics and the Earl Graham Metro vs. Florida Challenge. And with that, we are back to live action. A 17-4 lead for Colonial. The third of 7 games making up today's action, day 3 of the 2023 Earl Graham Metro vs. Florida Challenge. Sliding through the lane, making the withdrawal from the bank. Basket does count. Willie Wilson with the basket. Who committed the foul? 2:43 remaining, 17-7 lead now. Colonial back to work. Floating in the deuce. Number 5, Baker. Correction, Rivera. And that's a turnover. Ripping that rebound down is Baker. Back the other way, Colonial on the run. And Colonial certainly initiated the fast pace of this game. They've had control. Windex work and floating in the deuce, Rivera. And now we got a stoppage by the ref. I think he did not like the action on the court. As Caceres for Colonial and West. And I believe our referee gave a warning to both of them about fair play. Don't want this to turn physical. So 154, 21-7 lead for Colonial. They started off with a 7-0 lead, steadily building it throughout this first quarter. A 10-4 lead now for the Florida contingency, the 2023 Earl Graham Metro vs. Florida Challenge. I'm Neil Fisher. Thank you for joining us. Splash for Darius Livingston. That will cut the lead to 21-9. Under a minute and a half now. Floating in the deuce, Randy Estevez. From the left wing, wide over the basket, West. Back the other way we go. Colonial now back to the top of the key. Stop, pop, no drop for Caceres. And Discovery, chance to cut into that lead. They will not, though. Colonial, Caceres picking up the loose ball after knocking it away. They set up in the fast-paced half-court offense. And that's traveling. Turnover, traveling, Discovery possession. (23-9), 50 seconds before halftime. As Discovery crosses midcourt, from 6 feet. The floater, no dice, a foul. That'll be a turnover, the 5th of the quarter for Discovery. Foul committed by number 1, Darius Livingston. That's second team foul on Discovery, first quarter. Possession, Colonial. So Colonial doing a great job on defense to open up this game. And Livingston gets his hand, the quick outlet. The steal, the pass, in the deuce from Smith. Back to the right corner on the wing. That's going to be way short and unable to control it on the rebound. That's Adorno. So now an opportunity for Discovery to make some inroads to that lead. They're down by 12. A 7-0 lead, 7-0 run beginning of the game for Colonial. If they so choose, they can take the last shot. Looks like that's what they're going to do with Livingston. Spin, kick out, back up to Livingston, top of the key, 7. He's going to shoot. And splash! Darius Livingston. Can Colonial get one last shot off? They do. And woo, came close. Caught the rim on the right side. But 5 consecutive points. Cuts into that lead. Gets it back down to single digits for Discovery. 23 for the Colonial Grenadiers representing the Metro Conference. 14 for the Discovery Spartans representing the Florida Contingency. The site, Joe A. Sterling Gymnasium in Apopka High School. The 2023 Earl Graham Metro vs. Florida Challenge. We continue to acknowledge our sponsors who, of course, partnership and participation make this event available. This is the 3rd of 7 games being played today at Apopka High School. Elevate Orlando is a civic nonprofit focused on helping students grow in strength of character and application of essential life skill. Elevate's essential character traits and life skills are taught in the classroom, modeled through mentoring and incorporated into all that we do so students can apply them to their lives. Through a partnership with Orange County Public Schools, Elevate Orlando's curriculum is offered as an accredited elective course. And as private employees of Elevate Orlando, teacher mentors are able to spend over 50% of their time outside of school mentoring students. 1,550 students, 14 OCPS partner schools, 99% graduation rate, 96% post-secondary placement. Back to live action, start of the second quarter, 23-14 lead for Colonial. It's Discovery with possession, 7 consecutive points starting off this game, put Colonial in the lead, and they've built their lead since then. Turnovers begin this second quarter, 1 on each side, and that's Livingston. Drain the rain, Darius Livingston. So quickly, it's the turnover for Colonial that's taking advantage, turned into points. Darius Livingston, the Wekiva transfer, now with 8 points, a couple of trays among those 8 points. So now, one-on-one, that's Rivera bringing the ball in. Excuse me, that's Williams. Sliding through the lane, floating in the deuce, Williams. At the other end, the number 1 counterpart, that's Livingston. His tray does not drop. Both teams with a shot in the exchange of possession, neither able to score. Back the other way we go, an 8-point lead. From downtown, Wilson. And that will cut the lead back down to 5. What was a 14-point lead. Who called the timeout, Colonial?
I have no idea. I just know it's a 30. White or black?
30-second timeout called by Colonial. 25-20, 7:01 second quarter, 2023 Earl Graham Metro vs. Florida Challenge. We continue to acknowledge our sponsors during this timeout. Of course, their partnership and participation make this event possible. Primary sponsor, Advent Health. Other sponsors, Elevate Orlando, Excel Speed Training, Winter Park Driving Academy, Apopka Commissioner Kyle Becker, Williams Construction and Development, Mo Money, Core Construction, St. Germain Chiropractic Clinics, and at Burn Fat Orlando. 6:57 remaining, 5-point lead for Colonial. Their lead was up to 14. They've led throughout, scoring the first 7 points. High pass into the corner, gets the job done though. They rotate back to the top of the key now at the left wing. That is Adorno, unable to get the tray. Rejection on Rivera's shot, and loose ball picked up by Discovery, doing a nice job of staying with that ball. And a whistle. See if it's out of bounds or a foul. Yes, it's a foul. Foul committed by number 0, G. Antonio Rivera. First team foul, Colonial, second quarter. Livingston brings the ball up, looks for the pick, gets it, moves to the left wing in the corner. No dice for West, and Colonial grabs that rebound. Opportunity cut into the lead, nice shot, couldn't get the range though. 6 minutes remaining. Drive on that lane, contact, and possession, Colonial. Was that a foul? Okay. Inbound pass to Rivera. He spins around, gets the ball whacked away, and an opportunity transition for Discovery. Pass back to number 5, Willie Wilson. Floats in the deuce. Under 6 minutes. So lead further cut into off the turnover. As we continue into the second quarter, now a one-possession game. Colonial looking to regain that semblance of their offense as they head through the first quarter. Stop, pop, and drop for Silas Williams from 10 feet. Gets that lead back up to 2 possessions, 5 points, 5.5 minutes remaining. Top of the key now. Back to the left wing. Top of the key again, just inside that 3-point lane. It's going to be short for West. Strong rebound by Colonial. That was Williams ripping the rebound down. Back the other way now. And a chance to cut into that 2-point lead, 2-possession lead. Score the deuce, +1. Foul committed by number 2, Trevon West. At the line, number 0, G. Antonio Rivera. As the second team foul on Discovery. 27-23 lead for Colonial. Score is 30-22, Colonial in the lead. We do apologize for that on the screen. We are aware of it, and we are working to correct it. So 4:40 remaining. Back the other way we go. Snagging that rebound is Williams. Discovery now trying to get their transition game into gear. Certainly much more frequently than it was in that first quarter. A 7-0 run for Colonial began the game. And lead was grown all the way to 14. Discovery cutting into that lead at the start of the second quarter, keeping it down to 1 possession. We have gone back and forth between 1 and 2 possessions since then. That's going to be short for Williams. And the ball trickles out of bounds. So I'm Neil Fisher. Thank you for joining us this afternoon, the day after Thanksgiving. Hope everyone had an enjoyable holiday. 10-4 lead for the Florida contingency. As a turnover, give Discovery credit getting their hands in the way. 22 teams located in Orange County, which are public high schools. They make up the Metro Conference. Each game features one of those teams taking on a non-member, a.k.a. the Florida contingency. And at the end of the 26 games, 4 days, and 2 locations, we total up the sides. This event is based on the Atlantic Coast Conference versus Big Ten Challenge, as we will have an exchange of possessions. Colonial possession. So we are approaching the halftime. Off the heel, no dice. Long rebound corralled by Gene. He leads the charge on the other end. Ball knocked out. Making the withdrawal from the bank. Luxon, Gene. So Discovery continues to get those points when they need them. 30-24 lead now. Back at the other end. Stop, pop, and drop from Williams. And now got a foul. Foul committed by number 2, George Adorno, as the second team foul on Colonial, second quarter. Out to the left wing, at the top of the key. And had some zigging when they were zagging. Turnover, out of bounds. Are you sure? Correction on that last basket, it was Jorge Adorno. Colonial possession. .3:11 remaining. Thank you for joining us again. We are live from Apopka High School, Joe A. Sterling Gymnasium. Talk a little bit about Earl Graham, the man who this event is named after. He unfortunately passed away due to COVID-19 in 2021. Who got that? That's too late. Back at the other end. Splash for Darius Livingston. And Livingston continues to keep Discovery within distance, close enough to still win this. 8-point deficit, 13 points for the junior sophomore, transferring from Wekiva, and this is going to be an easy deuce. The steal and the deuce off the slam from Gene. So Coach Graham, he was a coach for over 50 years, worked as an assistant, very much a behind-the-scenes coach. That's what he got his joy out of. As that rebound, Rivera skying for it, and I believe we have a foul. Yes, we do have a foul. Dante Hines commits the foul. It is a non-shooting foul, the third team foul for Discovery, second quarter. Short, grabbing the rebound, slashing through that lane. Estevez can't get the ball to drop, and back the other way we go. The pass down low. That's Gene, the recipient, and he can't hold on to it. It will be Colonial ball. Out of bounds, possession, Colonial. So Coach Graham was the kind of coach who worked with players in the morning before the sun came up. He'd meet with them 5:30, 6 o'clock. And just in general, he had a big influence on hundreds of youth. Floating in the deuce from 6 feet, Estevez. At the other end, trying to answer that basket is Wilson, now a 8-point lead. A 5-point lead. So Colonial back to work, 1:20 remaining. So just to complete, the reason that we do honor him is obviously Coach Graham had a close relationship with those he was involved with. He actually worked at Wekiva and Apopka the last 15 years as the right-hand man of Coach Williams. Of course, Coach Williams starting the program at Wekiva, then moving up here to Apopka and taking this event with them. But he also, Coach Graham used his platform as an assistant coach to have a positive influence on several hundred young men and athletes. So we also honor Coach Graham with the MVP award. It's in his name at the end of each and every game. Stick around for a couple minutes after that. As we're now under a minute, 37-32. Discovery yet to take the lead, but they have been keeping it within 2 possession. Who was the foul on? Fourteen fouls on Discovery, second quarter. The drive through the lane, back out to the top of the key. No dice. That was Rivera trying to drop it. Rebound from Estevez. A soft touch. Not able to find the range, though. It was inaccurate. Foul committed by number 13, Joshua Torres. That's the third on Colonial, second quarter. 30 seconds remaining. Walking the ball up is Willie Wilson. Drops it off to Wilson. He can't find the range. Skying for the rebound is Williams. The other Williams. 15 seconds remaining. Colonial is led from start to finish. They scored the first 7 points. Can settle for that last shot if they so choose. Looks like they're going to do that as we're now down to 10. Nope. We're to the right. Estevez short. Now the last opportunity. Last word gets some momentum going into half by Discovery. Some help from the ref. And no, the ref did not let that happen. It's going to be out of bounds. That was Wilson trying to corral the pass, and he was standing right next to our referee. 0.3 of a second, no shot taken, and that will bring our first half to an end. Colonial again scoring the first 7 points. They up the lead to as many as 14, and it settles down to 15 at halftime. 37-32, the 2023 Earl Graham Metro versus Florida Challenge, coming live to you from Joe Sterling Gymnasium in Apopka High School.
Go ahead and let me make an announcement. Just a reminder, the Florida High School Athletic Association reminds you that interscholastic events are an extension of the classroom and proper respect is accorded to all. Please let your good sportsmanship show as you watch today's game. There you go.
At this time, we thank you for your attendance at this year's 2023 Earl Graham Metro versus Florida Challenge. We also thank those who are watching our broadcast online. We also want to acknowledge, once again, continue to acknowledge our sponsors, who, of course, without their participation and partnership and willingness to support this event, we would not be here. Our primary sponsor, Advent Health. 8 Central Florida hospitals have been named as the best in the Orlando area for 13 years in a row. We care for your mind, body, and spirit while you get back to doing what you love with those you love. Visit www.besthospitalinorlando.com to get started on your journey to wellness. No, they didn't. They play Saturday, tomorrow. They're the third to last game, I believe. Elevate Orlando is a civic nonprofit focused on helping students grow in strength of character and application of essential life skills. Elevate's essential character traits and life skills are taught in the classroom, modeled through mentoring, and incorporated into all that we do so students can apply them to their lives. Through a partnership with Orange County Public Schools, Elevate Orlando's curriculum is offered as an accredited elective course, and as private employees of Elevate Orlando, teacher mentors are able to spend over 50% of their time outside of school mentoring students. 1,550 students, 14 OCPS student partner schools, 98% graduation rate, 96% post-secondary placement. Excel Speed Training. Coach Lowwood offers training in all sports for speed, agility, and fitness with 2 days a week offered at 3 sites. Find a program working for you. Visit excelspeed.com. Winter Park Driving Academy. The Winter Park Driving Academy is a proud sponsor of this year's Earl Graham Memorial Metro vs. Florida Challenge. The Winter Park Driving Academy is dedicated to serving the greater Orlando area in its mission to train student drivers in essential defensive driving techniques. Please visit our website at wpdriving.com to schedule lessons and a road test with our experienced and professional staff today. Apopka Commissioner Kyle Becker, proud supporter of Blue Darter Athletics and the Earl Graham Metro vs. Florida Challenge. Williams Construction and Development, dedicated partner, professionals, superior craftsmanship, and better building materials. Core Construction, where operational excellence is the core standard. Burn Fat Orlando, we offer the tools and guidance you need to achieve better health in your weight loss goals with an inviting atmosphere, friendly staff, and programs. This is your chance to take charge of your weight in your life. Losing weight is more than just watching the scale drop. That's something Burn Fat Orlando clearly understands, and that's why you will choose Burn Fat Orlando. Score as we begin the third quarter, representing the Metro Conference, the Colonial Grenadiers, 37. Representing the Florida contingency, the Discovery Spartans, 32. And we are starting a little bit later than originally scheduled. Both teams spending most of halftime in their locker rooms. Certainly unusual. Most of the time the teams come out with about 2 minutes remaining, getting a few warm-ups. Florida contingency with a 10-4 lead. This is the third of 7 games being played at Joe A. Sterling Gymnasium as well as Apopka High School. I'm Neil Fisher. Thank you for joining us. As Discovery goes back to work, can't get their first shot, can't get a second shot. Both of them rejected. So Colonial's defense coming up big, at least here in the start. Certainly setting a tone. Again, Colonial, a 7-0 run to start this game. Got as high as 14. And good defense facilitating that. A couple of turnovers and a couple of block shots. So again, block shots not only being set here in the second half, but in the first half. Foul committed by number 1, Silas Williams. That's the first team foul on Colonial, third quarter. At the line, Dante Hines. So Hines makes his first free throw, gets that lead back down to 2 possession if it's 2-point field goals. Does not get the third, could have got the lead down to 1 possession. Colonial again has led throughout, built that lead to as many as 14. The slice and the dice does not end with the points. And back the other way we go. And the charge. Foul committed by number 12, Malcolm Smith. First team foul, Discovery, third quarter. So a slow start in terms of the points scored. Certainly no less intense. If you're new to this event, 22 high schools make up the Metro Conference. All are public. All are located in Orange County. And in each game, one of those members takes on a non-member, a.k.a. the Florida contingency. We add up the scores at the end, see who wins the most. As Baker, unable to get the deuce, gets his own rebound out to the corner. That's going to be an air ball. Nothing but air on that. And back the other way we come. A couple of offensive rebounds unable to turn into points. Who got that? Score the deuce for Livingston off the transition. So Discovery taking advantage of a couple of inaccurate shots. Now a chance to tie the game. And they will be able to do so at the free throw line. Coming off the turnover. Foul committed by number 1, Silas Williams. That sends number 1, Darius Livingston, to the free throw line. Correction, foul committed by number 0, G. Antonio Rivera. Two of two from the free throw line from Darius Livingston. And we are tied at 37 all, 6.5 remaining for the contingency with the 10-4 lead. In the overall games, we have 3 more coming to you from today. After this, 10 more in total. From the corner, the spot up, and drain the rain. Randy Estevez. Colonial back in the lead. That was our first lead change of the game and our first tie. Back the other way after the turnover from the corner again. That's going to clank off the rim, doing Windex work. Windex work. And kissing the glass, Williams. So a couple of shots. Second one goes in. And the lead back now with Colonial, a 5-0 run. Starting at about 6 minutes. And nice tip in. Is that 12? 10. Tipping in the deuce, Malcolm Smith. And now full court, man-to-man by Discovery. Of course, under Wheatland's Bouvel, his 6th season. Coach Mack at the helm at Colonial in his 3rd season. I look to my left. He's standing patiently and stoically along the bench, in front of the bench. Coach Wheatland's, Coach Bouvel, a little bit more animated as the tray does not drop. Tracking down that long-range rebounds, Estevez, he launches another tray. And another attempt, unable to get to it. At the other end. He scored. Score the deuce for Gene. So 4:40 remaining, 42-41. Colonial scored 5 consecutive points to take that lead. It's now being cut in 2. And just when it looked like they were going to get the stop, Williams changes the fortunes. Foul committed by number 10, Dante Hines. That sends number 1, Silas Williams, to the free throw line. Second foul committed by Discovery, 3rd quarter. 4:35 to be exact remaining. First free throws of the 3rd quarter for Colonial. 1 of 2 drops. That gets the lead back up to 2 points. And a quick foul as the inbound is attempted by Discovery. Foul committed by number 0, Gio Antonio Rivera. Second team foul committed by Discovery, 3rd quarter. And the scoop shot by Livingston does not drop. Off the rim, hung on the rim, long outlet. Down to Colonial on the left wing. That's Rivera. He keeps it inbound. Back out to Estevez. Sweeps through the middle at the free throw line. No dice. Windex work and floating in the deuce, Ray Baker. So back the other way we go. And just as quickly, we go back to the Colonial side off the turnover. Under 4 minutes, the tray, that's going to be short. Colonial bench rising in unison, but does not drop. And now we get the foul as well on the exchange of possessions. Foul committed by number 0, Gio Antonio Rivera. That is the 4th team foul on Colonial. Discovery will be in bonus the rest of the quarter. So again, if you're unaware A change in free throws has been made by the FHSAA. It's no longer 7 per period. As a bonus, it's now 5 per period as Discovery goes back to work from the right wing. That's Livingston, rims in and out. Skying for the rebound is Gene, and he will pay dividends by drawing the foul. Foul committed by number 1, Silas Williams. That sends number 4, Luke Sanjin, to the free throw line. Discovery is now in the bonus for the rest of the period. The FHSA making a change is now 5 fouls per period for the bonus. And 1 of 2. That cuts the lead to 45-42. And in the meantime, we got a timeout called. Colonial calls a full timeout. During this break, we acknowledge our sponsors who, of course, their partnership and participation make this event possible. Our primary sponsor, Advent Health. We are also sponsored by Elevate Orlando, Excel Speed Training, Winter Park Driving Academy, Apopka Commissioner Kyle Becker, Williams Construction and Development, Mo Money, Core Construction, Burn Fat Orlando, who offers the tools and guidance you need to achieve better health and your weight loss goals. With an inviting atmosphere, friendly staff, and programs, this is your chance to take charge of your weight in your life. Losing weight is more than just watching the scale drop. That's something Burn Fat Orlando clearly understands, and that's why you will choose Burn Fat Orlando. St. Germain Chiropractic Clinics, best non-invasive healthcare services in the Central Florida/Orlando area. Most insurance accepted. So back to live action. 3:28 remaining. Colonial representing the Metro Conference 45. Discovery representing the Florida contingency 42. Get the steal right off the bat. And things get a bit wild over there on that left side, the far sideline from our position. And a couple of turnovers begins this time period as we approach 3 minutes. 3-point lead for Colonial. They've led throughout, except for about 10 seconds. Only 1 lead change and 1 tie. They scored the first 7 points, got that lead back up to 14. Discovery answering. Stop, pop, and drop. Back at the other end with Colonial committing a foul. Foul committed by number 1, Silas Williams. That sends number 5, Willie Wilson, to the free throw line. Discovery continues in the bonus. Again, bonus is now 5 free throws per period. So a 5-point lead now for Colonial. One of 2 at the free throw line. 2:49 remaining. Full court, man-to-man by Discovery. Colonial breaks that, but the residual turnover, a hand in the way, back the other way. Taking the pass off the steal and dropping in the deuce, Willie Wilson. .225 remaining. As the lead now cut down to a deuce, 47-45. Colonial brings the ball back up. Needs to refine some of the momentum. They look good through the first quarter and a half. Smooth and rhythmic. And not nearly that same type since Discovery went to the full court man-to-man. There's your turnover, the pass. Scoring 2 and off the pass, number 5, Willie Wilson. So we are tied at 47 all. And now Colonial being hit by the turnover bug 3 times in their last 4 possessions. They now have 6 in the quarter. Looking to regain that momentum. Splash! Estevez. So we are now a minute and a half, regaining some of that momentum, getting back into rhythm on offense. Estevez with the tray at the other end. Willie Wilson from downtown. Quick answer, we are tied at 50 all, second tie of the ball game. Is that just a turnover? So it is a foul. We're waiting to get word. So we do have a stoppage. The ref's got some explaining to do. Foul committed by number 1, Darius Livingston, as the third team foul on Discovery. From the tray, no dice. That's Gene doing Windex work, though, working hard to get that rebounds. West Livingston now on the right. He drops that ball off, gets it back. As we drop under a minute, we are tied 50 all. The 14th of 26 games making up the 2023 Earl Graham Metro versus Florida Challenge. Discovery has led for about 10 seconds, just once. Livingston from downtown. Livingston. Second lead of the game for the Discovery Spartans. And they have roared back from 14 points down at one point midway through the first quarter. Now an answer. Colonial, can they short? Slashing through that lane. They do get the Windex work. Windex work and kissing the glass. Baker. 53-52 for Discovery. We're last minute of the third quarter. And now the tray does not drop from the corner. The game wages on. 8 seconds. And Discovery with a chance to get that lead up to 2 possessions. If they drop down the tray, 7.6 seconds left. Certainly things have changed here in the last 3.5 minutes of this third quarter. Colonial leading for all but about 20 seconds of this game. Discovery, though, in the lead. From Livingston, short at the buzzer, and that brings the third quarter to an end. So Discovery trailing for most of the game will head into the fourth quarter with the 1-point lead. 53-52 over Colonial. This is the 2023 Earl Graham Metro vs. Florida Challenge, located at Joe A. Sterling Gymnasium in Apopka High School. The score at the end of the third quarter, representing the Florida contingency, the Discovery Spartans 53, representing the Metro Conference, the Colonial Grenadiers. We would like to continue to thank our sponsors, who, of course, their willingness to partner and participate in the 2023 Earl Graham Metro vs. Florida Challenge makes this event possible. Advent Health, our primary sponsor, 8 Central Florida hospitals have been named as the best in the Orlando area for 13 years in a row. We care for your mind, body, and spirit while you get back to doing what you love with those you love. Visit www.besthospitalinorlando.com to get started on your journey to wellness. Our other sponsors: Elevate Orlando, Excel Speed Training, Winter Park Driving Academy, Apopka Commissioner Kyle Becker, Williams Construction and Development, Mo Money, Core Construction, Burn Fat Orlando, and St. Germain Chiropractic Clinic. Fourth quarter underway from Joe A. Sterling Gymnasium, Apopka High School. 53-52, Discovery Spartans in the lead for the second time today. The long-range tray rims in and out from Estevez, doing Windex work. is Torres, who's made his presence known, but then the turnover, and we are off and running at the other end. Kissing the glass off the pass, Malcolm Smith. So lead now up to 55-52. And a turnover for Colonial. So we saw Colonial get into that 14-point lead midway through the fourth quarter on defense, and now Discovery taking a page out of that book. Not nearly as smooth or rhythmic or with the same steady pace, but nonetheless, Discovery, a 9-point turnaround. And now a 3-point lead at the other end. Much needed points for Colonial. Floating in the deuce, Estevez. Long range, Livingston from downtown. Livingston. Bailey back up to 4, actually the largest of the game at 4. And that was not just a 3, that was an NBA range 3. Slashing through the lane. That was Adorno, did everything but shoot the ball on the right angle. Good defense from Discovery, throw off that angle. Back at the other end, it's Livingston taking the pass. Splash from Livingston. 3 consecutive points from Darius Livingston, the junior, 26 points now. And he has really led the charge on this comeback for Discovery. 10-4 lead for Florida. Contingency. Overall, if you're new to the Metro versus Florida Challenge in honor of Earl Graham, that rims in and out doing Windex work is George, and he can't hold on to the loose rebound. He got knocked away. Now another turnover, trying to get it up the other way. Estevez short off the heel. And doing Windex work, ripping down the rebound, is Baker. He'll go to the line. Number 5. Foul committed by number 5, Willie Wilson. That sends number 5, Ray Baker, to the free throw line. 6:11 remaining. And much needed points for Colonial. Needs points now after losing what was once a 14-point lead. As the first foul committed by Discovery in the fourth quarter. Earl Graham Metro versus Florida Challenge. The concept is based on the ACC versus Big Ten Challenge. As neither free throw goes, an opportunity for Colonial to make some headway, regain some momentum going by the wayside. 22 teams make up the Metro Conference. All are public high schools. All are located in Orange County. And a timeout. Every game, a member of that Metro Conference takes on a non-member, aka the Florida contingency. We add up who scores the most points or most victories at the end of the 26 games, 4 days in 2 locations. 61-54, 5:58 remaining. This is the 2023 Earl Graham Metro versus Florida Challenge. Colonial called the timeout. So 5:59 remaining. Again, Colonial with the 14-point lead early. They scored the first 7 points and then built that lead up to 14. They were able to maintain that lead. It ranged from between 2 possessions to 11. But since then, midway through the third quarter, it's been all Discovery, and this certainly will be what they need, getting that turnover, see if they can turn it into points. They've not been able to convert a number of opportunities, including this one. It's over and back. About 150 fans in attendance here for this 14th game. 15th game. Third game of day 3. And thank you for joining us as well. Discovery looking to continue to up that lead and continue the momentum, and they do so from downtown Livingston. So Livingston continues his blistering pace from the outside. 29 points. He could enter the record books. Generally speaking, that's 30. And the turnovers continue for Colonial. They dodged that one, but they get Discovery gets the reprieve. And this has been the Darius Livingston Clinic from Beyond the Arc in the third quarter, in fourth quarter, second half. And another timeout now called by Colonial. Coach Mack trying to get his team settled down here and refine their groove. 10-point lead, 64-54. 5:09 remaining from Joe A. Sterling Gymnasium in Apopka High School. We continue to acknowledge our sponsors, their partnership, making it possible to continue with the Eurogram Metro versus Florida Challenge each and every year, and allowing this event to become as big as it has. 26 games, 4 days, in 2 locations. XL Speed Training, Coach Lowood offers training in all sports for speed, agility, and fitness with 2 days a week. Offered at 3 sites. Find a program that works for you. Visit excelspeed.com. Other sponsors, Apopka Commissioner Kyle Becker, Williams Construction and Development, More Money Co-Construction, St. Germain Chiropractic Clinics, Burn Fat Orlando, Elevate Orlando, and Advent Health. So we go back to work. It's Colonial who's given up a 14-point lead. We've seen a 24-point turnaround, mostly since about 2 minutes in the third quarter. It's been the Darius Livingston show and a clinic being put on from outside the range, 3-point range. Foul committed by number 1, Silas Williams. That's the first team foul on Colonial, and a turnover, possession, discovery. Williams also retires from the game with 9 points. So now an opportunity for Discovery to bring that lead past 10. And that's, well, it was actually tipped by Adorno, just a fingertip. 4:43 remaining. The defense been the catalyst for Discovery. Again, they have not put together a run that catches the eye in the same way that Colonials did at the beginning of the game, a smooth, steady increase. But nonetheless, they have steadily chipped into that lead, making baskets here, making baskets there, off of turnovers and long rebounds. Does not get the point there. Good job by Rivera, skying for that rebound, and just as quickly the turnover. Livingston picking it up. The quick pass. Floating in the deuce. Wilson off the pass from Livingston. So Livingston showing his defensive wares in addition to his 3-point outside pinpoint range shooting. His bullseye from outside. And now the lead at 12, chance to grow it even more. And Colonial certainly has run out of steam here since about midway through the third quarter. Can they get a basket here? Yes. Kissing the glass, Adorno. And another opportunity for Colonial is a turnover. And we got a full timeout called. Who called it? Full timeout called by Discovery. Thank you once again for attending the 2023 Earl Graham Metro versus Florida Challenge. The rest of the schedule after this game: Evans versus Bartow, Windermere versus Leesburg, Dr. Phillips versus Lake Mary, and West Orange versus Central Florida Christian Academy. Also, please be advised, there are 7 more games tomorrow as well. We also want to continue to thank our sponsors. This time, Winter Park Driving Academy, a proud sponsor of this year's Earl Graham Memorial Metro vs. Florida Challenge. The Winter Park Driving Academy is dedicated to serving the greater Orlando arena in its mission to train student drivers in essential defensive driving techniques. Please visit our website at wpdriving.com to schedule lessons and a road test with our experienced and professional staff today. Welcome back to Joe A. Sterling Gymnasium, Apopka High School. A 66-56 lead for the Colonial Discovery Spartans, representing the Florida contingency against Colonial Grenadiers, representing the Metro Conference. This has been certainly a swing in the field, and that'll help Colonial scoring the deuce off the Kisk. Rivera cuts the lead down to 8. Colonial lead as much as 14. That started to wither away throughout this by the third quarter. Score of the deuce, floating in, it's Wilson. Off the rim, no dice, out of bounds. Out of bounds, Discovery possession. And of course, I think we already know our MVP with 29 points. That's Darius Livingston. He has been the man who has led the charge for Discovery in that comeback position. Down the other way, rambling into that lane and drawing the foul is Willie Wilson. Foul committed by number 13, Joshua Torres. That is the second team foul for Colonial, fourth quarter. So 2:45 remaining, and now if you're Discovery, it's about not making a mistake that's going to open the door for a comeback. Darius Livingston with the attack, floats in the deuce. And they have not been able to stop Colonial in the second half. Darius Livingston now with 31 points, and that certainly is moving into the record books. So Colonial, another opportunity. Game isn't over yet, but a 12-point lead. Colonial needs to get some stops and some points. He'll catch a break there on the rebound. Coming out to Estevez. Estevez scoops up the rebound and floats in the deuce. And none other than Livingston on the charge on the other end, bringing that ball down as we are now under 2 minutes remaining. Down on the right corner. The attack on the baseline. Scoop. And finding the range. Hines. Back the other way. Colonial needs an answer and then some stops. They'll get to break again on that long offensive rebound. And not sure exactly who Braden thought was behind them. Beaton thought was behind them, but in any case, that threw off their timing. They weren't able to get a good-looking shot. And I think minute 20 now, Discovery can pretty much put the final touches on this victory for the Florida contingency, rallying from 14 points down, and they are well aware of the clock, as you can see. Not looking for a shot initially. That's Livingston down on the corner, and a whistle, and it is a turnover, but not before about 20 seconds taking off the clock, so we have 59 seconds remaining. So right now with 31 points, Livingston is tied for 13th on the all-time individual scoring in a game. Colonial still trying to make some inways, 72-63. That takes it down to 9 points, 9-point deficit. Again, still not a done deal as far as a Discovery victory, but Colonial needs some help from Discovery. They're going to have to make a couple of mistakes in order to come back. Once again, we continue to thank our sponsors for the 2023 Earl Graham Metro vs. Florida Challenge. Without their participation and partnership and willingness to support Apopka Blue Darters athletics in their event, we would not be here today. So our first sponsor that we want to recognize is Burn Fat Orlando. We offer the tools and guidance you need to achieve better health in your weight loss goals. With an inviting atmosphere, friendly staff, and programs, this is your chance to take charge of your weight in your life. Losing weight is more than just watching the scale drop. That's something Burn Fat Orlando clearly understands and why you will choose Burn Fat Orlando. St. Germain Chiropractic Clinics, best non-invasive healthcare services in the Central Florida/Orlando area, most insurance accepted. So Colonial making its last stand. A number of turnovers has led to Discovery racing a 14-point lead and turning it into a 9-point lead. The Colonial needs defensive stops, and that certainly is not what they needed out of the break, as well as, and actually it is what they needed, a offensive foul. Offensive foul committed by number 11, Zenkner. So back to where Colonial goes. Time running short. They got to get that ball up and in the hoop. 20 seconds now. They do get it. You see who scored that? Basket by number 11, Joel Beaton. Now they need to foul. They need to foul quickly, and they're not going to do that. They do get the turnover, but only 4 seconds remaining, and that will do it for the 15th game on day 3 of the Earl Graham Metro versus Florida Challenge. Stick around. We will have the most valuable player. Really no surprise if you followed this game, and the man who led the comeback. So Colonial had a 14-point lead, scored the first 7, up the lead to 14. Midway through the third quarter, though, led by Darius Livingston, who had a total of 31 points. Sharp shooting from beyond the arc. Cut into that lead, took the lead for good at the beginning of the fourth quarter, and they take a 72-65 victory. Your final score for Game 14 on Day 3 of the 2023 Earl Graham Metro versus Florida Challenge, representing the Florida contingency, the Discovery Spartans 72, representing the Metro Conference, the Colonial Grenadiers 65. Florida now with the 11-4 lead. And at this time, we ask, ladies and gentlemen, please turn your attention to center court, where Jay Graham will present the Most Valuable Player Award, honoring his father. Without question and no surprise, the man leading the rally in the comeback for the Discovery Spartans, from a dead-eye shooter from beyond the range, as well as coming up with half a dozen steals, number 1, Darius Livingston, who also scored 31 points, the 13th highest total in the history for an individual in a game. Of course, we invite you, ladies and gentlemen, to please stick around. We still have 4 more games. Our next game will pit the Evans Trojans against the Bartow Yellow Jackets. That game will start at 3:30 in approximately 25 minutes. Once again, thank you for joining us at the 2023 Earl Graham Metro versus Florida Challenge. So at this time, we also